Good morning, students. This is Rajesh Agarwal, your English teacher. Till now, we have completed 3 poems. Today, we are going to do fourth poem, A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. John Keats is really a very great poet of beauties. Let us see something about the poet. John Keats was born in London in the year 1795 and died in Rome in 1821 at the young age of 25 due to illness. We can see at the age of 25 only he died. He was really a very great poet. He is a romantic poet and his poetry is characterized by sensual imagery. Sensual imagery means the imagery which is related to our senses. In his most popular work, which is a series of odes. And what is ode? A lyrical poem which is meant for a particular subject. Means to say, for a particular subject when we write a poetry, it becomes an ode. So this is about the poet John Keats. Now let us see background of the poem. The poem is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance which was written in 1818, considered to be an epic poem. Epic poem is a long poem which is based on some myths, on some special styles. The poem is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, a beautiful young shepherd who lived on Mount Latmus, had a vision of Cynthia, the moon goddess. Two main characters are there in this great work, Endymion. One is Endymion, that is who is a shepherd. The second one is Cynthia, who is moon goddess. The enchanted youth, who is youth here? Endymion, resolved to seek her out. He wants to seek her Cynthia out, and so wandered away through the forest and down under the sea. So this is the background of the poem. Now let us see what is the central idea of the poem. Beauty is a heavenly tonic, or we can say drink, an endless fountain of nectar. This beauty comes in different forms: a tale, a poem, a play, a lovely object of nature, or the heavenly bodies. It soothes our spirits and gives us good health, sound sleep, and mental peace. It removes sadness from our lives and gives an everlasting joy, a joy which will never end. So this is the central idea of the poem. Now come to the summary of the poem. A beautiful thing is a source of eternal joy. Eternal joy means never-ending joy. Its loveliness grows with the passage of time. As the time grows, its loveliness increases. And its impact never fades away. We can say the effect of beauty never fades away. It is as soothing as a cool shade. It never passes into nothingness. It gives us good health, sound sleep, and mental peace. It provides the beholder with a heaven of tranquility and solace, means peace. Man and nature are inseparable. We can't separate man and nature. It is the beauty of nature that keeps us attached to this earth. Every morning, we collect fresh, lovely flowers and prepare garlands. They refresh our moods and we forget our worries for a while. Every person gets a bitter taste of sorrow, suffering, and grief. Disease, disappointments, and misfortunes give us mental and physical suffering. It is the beautiful things that remove the pall of sadness, means to say, curtain of sadness, from our lives and make us happy and hopeful. All beautiful things of nature are a boon for human beings. The sun, the moon, the trees, daffodils. Daffodils is the name of flowers. Simple sheep, clear streams, forests, ferns. Ferns means bushes. Musk rose is a special rose which is found in wild forests, etc. Provide us peace and happiness. In addition to these lovely objects of nature, there are plays and poems to lift our spirits. The glorious achievements of mighty heroes and magnificent rewards by God on the day of judgment. For those mighty men, lovely tales of olden days are endless source of everlasting joy. The poet feels that nothing can surpass the beauty of nature. They are an elixir of life. Elixir means nectar of life. They are like an endless fountain that pours immortal drink from the heaven into our hearts. So beauty is a gift of God and it gives us joy forever. So students, in this way we completed the summary of this poem. First we see something about the poet, then what should be the background of this poem, then the central idea of this poem, and now the summary of this poem. So this much is enough for this lecture. In our next lecture we will see the poem and its explanation. If you have any doubt, you can contact me at my WhatsApp number. Till then, have a nice day.